This system is going to kill two birds with one stone. The marketing team loves it and the sales team loves it. I feel like that's a rare combo. Sales and marketing seem to always not get along. In this situation, they do. What we do is we're going to stand up some type of competitor landing page, download, lead magnet, something like that. And that's going to indicate to us that they're interested or they're actively comparing our product or service to another competitor in our industry. Sales is going to love it because on their side, they would know, hey, they're actively comparing us to X competitor. That means I need to likely talk about these things when I get on the call and why this is going to be a better situation to go with our service versus theirs. So super helpful to implement in the business. And really, to say this out loud, to keep it simple, the diagram really what it's showing us is how we can gently follow up with people that might be looking at a competitor so that they can get helpful information, keyword here, at the right time. And then the sales team knows who's actually interested or not. All right, so we'll go through this, how it starts, what you should do as far as a lead nurturing campaign. And number one up here, if you're like me, how we even start this. So let's start there. If you're like me, when you're first hearing this, you're probably wondering how you would even know if someone's interested in a competitor. I think when I first heard this or I first saw a team talk about it that we worked with, I first started thinking about things like, do they have like a tool they put on their website? Do they have some kind of like tracker? Is there some kind of website I don't know about that lets them see the traffic from other places? Those things all still might be true. There might be stuff out there like that. The three common ways, though, that I've seen this implemented is people will do things similar to a comparison chart and set that up as like what I said, a landing page to send people to, a downloadable piece of content that they can get, or something to that degree. There's a second choice in there. Number two, I have is self-identify. If you're asking questions before they give you information, this goes into another topic, but the less questions you ask, the more likely it is that you get a lower quality lead, but more of them. The more questions you ask, the higher chance you get a higher quality lead, but less of them. There's more intention if you have to fill out more information. But if you are doing that, number two kind of works where you can ask people, hey, are you currently on this product or service? Have you used this product or service before? What product or service are you familiar with? You can ask things like that, and that can potentially help you do the same thing. I feel like the comparison charts work the best. That actively tells you that they're thinking of either comparing you to somebody else or they're actively looking into other options. So I like that one kind of the best because it's the most obvious. But there are a few different ways you can do this, okay? So let's go with option one since I see that one the most, which is you create some type of chart. You have a landing page or a downloadable piece of content that will have something that will say, we'll use my example in my industry. They're either going to choose Salesforce, HubSpot, or maybe like Zoho. Okay, so three competitors. We're going to have a chart on a landing page that compares it with like check boxes. We'll say, here's all the features that you're going to care about. Here's who it's best for. And you're just going to do that. In this situation, you're not really trying to be super biased. You are just trying to help them understand the pros and cons because this is what they're looking for. When they hit that and they fill out the info to be able to either see the information or download the information, you get that lead, obviously. When that happens, we're going to enroll them in what we call the competitor lead nurturing campaign. Okay. So we're going to mark them as competitor interested, something to that degree. And that way we know they're actively comparing our product or service to another person. We're then going to send out our first email, and that first email is going to be a why us kind of email, or why you, why your product, why your service. And here, this is where you can start to be more biased. Hey, saw that you're interested in potentially going with whatever, HubSpot, Zoho, or Salesforce. Here's the reasons why we feel Salesforce would help someone to your business. If you asked them more questions before they downloaded, like their company size or how much money they make, or what they do as far as their industry, that might help craft this email a little bit better. Like for me, for our business with consulting, we obviously go after a specific niche. So if they're a certain size, they make a certain amount of money, and they have certain people on their team. If I knew those things, then I can give them a more honest take as to why I feel Salesforce would be better than HubSpot. You're going to want to do something like that. You'll send something to them as a first email, kind of showing that first persuasion email. From there, what we're going to do is basically go through a process that you can tailor for your business to be as long or as short as you would like, okay? So here we're going to look to see how many days have passed since we sent that email, and have they either clicked it or have they not opened it yet. If they've clicked this email, then what we obviously want to do is update the lead to engaged, telling us, hey, this person did engage with one of our emails that we sent out. They have interest. They read it. Then we want to create some follow-up tasks for a sales rep to be able to start calling that person and or emailing them more information, right? We basically want to get them on a phone call as soon as we can. Most businesses are going to be the same. Mine's one of them. The faster you can get them on a call when they're interested in buying, the higher chance you have of closing that deal. You want to build trust. It's easier to build trust once you get on a call and you see someone's face. So we're going to create some follow-up tasks that our sales reps need to do after they have clicked on that email. If they have not clicked, then you want to think through how many days you want to wait. You don't want to feel like you're spamming people, but you also don't want to wait so long that they're no longer in that buying mode. The buying mode only lasts a certain amount of time. It's a pain point right now, so you kind of want to act on that. So every business, every service is a little bit different, but think through that. I always tend to like to go a little bit shorter in the beginning, make them longer towards the end to make it feel like you're not just spamming somebody that's maybe just not interested at all. Also, you don't have to send 3 emails. You could send 20 emails. In this example, I just have 3, but you get the idea. You could do this for as many or as little emails that you wanted. So let's just pretend we wait one day. They didn't look into this. They didn't click on it. Great. After one day, we're then going to send email 2. Email 2, you're going to think through with your team, your marketing team, how you want to start to persuade this person towards your product or service, and how you want to go about doing that in your email copy. So if email 1 was something about the benefits of using Salesforce, maybe number 2 is going to be about the amount of money that you can save per year by using Salesforce because it's more efficient. And maybe the third one is something around why all these businesses use it. A common fact with Salesforce specifically is like 90% of Fortune 500 companies use Salesforce. So maybe the third one is something like that. You get the idea. You're trying to add value here through each one of these emails, and you're trying to hit a different angle. If they're not clicking, it's obviously either the subject line or the email itself didn't come off correctly, right? Usually subject line if they haven't clicked it. So you're trying to hit them from different angles to see what they might be interested in and what made them click. So go through as many or as little emails as you want. You're trying to add value to each one of those. Eventually, when you get done, it was either 3 emails, 1 email, 20 emails later, they never clicked. What you want to do here is something that a lot of people don't do. You want to make sure that you mark this lead as closed lost or uninterested, whatever stage you have for that lead, to just say, hey, they didn't engage with us. And then you want to put them in what I see people call storage. This just means we're not going to forget about these people. We spent marketing dollars and business money to acquire the interest of this person. It took us money to get that person's email and their first name and the company they work at. So the last thing we want to do is just throw that away and never try to talk to them again. Instead, we're going to put them in storage, just meaning for right now, we're not going to email this person or try to reach out. We're going to give them a break because we tried to reach out X amount of times and they didn't engage with us. So we don't want to spam them and scare them away, but we do want to come back to this. So again, you're going to come up with how many days you would like to wait. Sometimes that's 3 months for certain businesses we've worked with. Sometimes that's a month. Sometimes that's just a couple weeks. After that amount of time has passed that you feel is appropriate, you're then going to send them back through some emails like this. This goes into a whole other video that I have out there on YouTube, but you get the idea. You'd send them through another nurturing campaign, try to hit them from some different angles, try to see how they're interested or if they're still buying or if they're still wanting to use your service or product, and try to go through that. And you're just going to kind of keep repeating that cycle. So that's a really cool way to end this. A lot of people will just kind of just say, not interested in moving on. Or like bad lead, not moving on. A lot of the times it's not a bad lead. It's just we're not saying the right stuff. They're not the person that actually is going to be the person buying from us, or you're early or late in the process too. So maybe we hit them, we wait too late, and now they've already purchased a product or service, and that's why they're not responding. Or we're too early, hey, we just got interested. We're just barely building awareness about what these solutions are. We don't even have budget yet. We're not even interested. So I'm not even like trying to engage at this point. That's why we want to circle back to these people too. That'll help you. It's also going to help you dial in what you should be saying, like what made them click, what didn't make them click. How can we refine the ones where they didn't click and make that more interesting for them the next time around? You can test more stuff. So this is an awesome, awesome system to have in your business. Strongly recommend it. Helps you understand, like I said from the jump, how you can polish up those features that you may or may not have that other competitors do. And just another way to be able to get people that you maybe weren't thinking were interested, that weren't specifically searching your product or service. You bring awareness because maybe there's another competitor that's bigger than you out there, and you use that kind of coat tail, if you will, to, hey, like you're interested in this big name product. Have you ever thought about another solution or another alternative to that, which would be us, right? So really cool way to go about doing that. If you don't have this in your business, you want it in your business, you don't want to do this yourself, there is a link in the description. You can click on that. My team will come in. We'll see if we're a good fit first. If we are a good fit for you guys to work with you, we'd love to implement this for you and get it up and running. Appreciate it.